It's a shame. This is the super panel. Yeah, come. Come to the front. There's a front row free. People waiting outside, could you let them in? Okay, welcome everybody. Whilst researching for this next panel, I read the following. Only smart citizens can enable true smart cities. And I wondered. Well, according to the United Nations study, by 2050, around 70% of the world population will be living in cities. So we're going to need a lot of smart citizens. To talk about this extremely important subject, we have a fantastic panel with us. Our first panelist, no other than our South Summit 2015 winner. He's the CEO and founder of Exploded View. Please welcome Lluc Martí. Come on in on stage. We have our next panelist. He's the Commercial Director for Europe of Green Momit, or Momit. He's Romain Sical. Welcome, Romain, on stage. We also have the Director of Public Administration and Smart Cities at Vodafone. We all know Vodafone. Welcome, Diego Torrico. We also have with us the International Business Manager at Sacyr Valoriza. He's Carlos Gros. Welcome, Carlos. And last but not least, the Director of Strategic Projects for Smart Cities, IoT, Big Data. He doesn't get bored. He is Francisco José Huidobro from Orange. Welcome, all of them. Thank you. Wait, I have the best for last. To conduct this killer panel, we count with the invaluable help of the Investment Director at Demeter Partners, which is one of the top independent management companies in clean tech operating in France, and particularly in Spain and Germany. An industrial engineer, she's also an independent investment expert at the European Commission, amongst many other important roles. Please, let's give a warm welcome to Maria Sansigre. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks, Elena, for the introduction. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this panel. I am pleased to be here to discuss, sorry, I'm quite nervous, to discuss this topic, and we've gathered an interesting panel of experts to talk about how to make the cities smarter. Well, cities are massive sources of energy consumption, generate lots of waste and air pollution, and mobility is more than ever a key issue to a key issue to make sustainable the urban space, not only environmentally, but also economically. Thank you. Therefore, everyone agrees that the urban areas have to be more sustainable to improve the living environment and to be more efficient in terms of resources consumption. I believe that the phase space of change in the cities will grow even faster as the Internet of Things phenomenon takes hold. Utilities are leveraging sensors and data to fuel the expansion of smarter grids and networks that will drive efficient energy or water usage, enabling real-time billing information, and creating efficiencies between meter reading and data exchange. Oops, sorry. Waste and mobility management is becoming smarter at the same time that energy consumers are using big data and the IoT to refine their understanding and control of the energy consumption and spending. From startups to corporates, everyone is developing new solutions to rethink the city for the benefit of the citizen, the municipalities, and consequently for the society and environment. So, on this scenario, as the rate cities globally are growing, how can we better prepare to manage efficiently the urban energy, mobility, and waste generation? I would like to have here the opinion of the representatives of each corporate, considering the crucial role that such companies are playing in the smart cities. Let's give the turn first to Sacyr. Please, Carlos.
Well, Valoriza Sacyr is a smart services provider. Well, we believe so. We think we're part of the puzzle to make the smart cities develop their ideas and to be much better. And in our experience so far, and many notorious cities trying to be smarter, trying to get the sign of we are smart very quick. They forgot to go through a process that could be common, could be simple, but many times they haven't passed all through that process. That process starts when the city realizes and he knows exactly what they want to do with their city. They want to be smarter, but and they have to think about the roadmap. They have to think where they want to go and when. They have to start with this roadmap, trying to think what areas, what in their cities have the value, and after they know exactly how they want to go, they have budgets to fulfill, and they have to identify exactly what they want. Then there's the role of the smart services providers, as we are, that we try to assist the city's governance to find the best solution. There are many solutions in the market, but you have to fit the solution to the needs of the city, and you need to of course, fit it to the budget they have and on the time they have. The cities cannot pretend to be smarter on seconds, as if you could eat a magic pill, or if it was a cosmetic surgery, that you can be smarter with a quick solution. You have to go through the process and identify what they need. Cities, so I said they need smart city providers as assistants because their problems are different. Their main problems, but they're different in each city. So they have. It's not a pret-a-porter suit. It's a tailored suit. They have to fit it exactly what they want. So as a company, we get what they want as a challenge, and we put it. We call it like a smart solutions machine. We put it what the city wants, and we call in funny way that the smart solutions machine. It's full of gears, like a gearbox with a lot of gears. And the gears are, of course, the city, of course, the citizens, and the startups, the technological centers. So we have to get all what is in the market, all the knowledge, our own know-how, and the others, and go through that process to get an added value solution. That's the secret. We have to give an added value solution. Also, we have competitors, so we have to give the best solution to the city.
Carlos, I think we will have maybe in next question we can speak about that. Now let's give the turn to the telecommunication companies, which are critical in the smart city, and because without them this couldn't be possible, because they are giving the infrastructure to all this IoT and big data. So let's start with Diego Torrico of Vodafone.
Thank you, Maria. So just to share a couple of ideas. So the first idea is, from our point of view, electricity consumption, public transport, and waste management represent almost 30% of the whole budget in a city, regardless the size of the city. So those three elements are, for sure, really important in the way the citizen or the city bodies manage the city. So that's why in Vodafone we have been working in the last couple of years to develop a specific solution for smart cities. Actually, I'm not I don't agree with your view of cities want, you said, bespoke solutions, tailor-made solutions. So actually, we are working in a pret-a-porter solution, as you mentioned before, because we really believe there are a lot of cities. In Spain, there are roughly 8,000 cities. Without the bigger cities like Madrid, Barcelona, all the rest of the cities need to be or to become smarter. And we are working to launch in the following months a specific solution for electricity management, waste management, and citizen collaboration, exactly to provide it then standard solutions to help the cities to solve these kind of problems.
Okay, thank you very much. And now let's give the turn to Francisco.
Okay.
Orange.
Thank you, Maria. In Orange, all these issues like energy efficiency or waste reduction, mobility are very close to our innovation heart at Orange. And in fact, we have been working in these areas for almost 5 years now. And it has brought us to have over 4 million of intelligent meters connected to our networks. Because usually we as citizens, we think that the intelligent meter that the utility puts at our homes is only to gather the billing data for them to save cost. But it's far from reality. As an example, let's say that an unmanaged water distribution network usually loses 25% of the water that runs through it due to breaches, leakages, and fraud. If you monitor properly this network, putting the right sensors in the right places, and a layer of intelligence over it, you can reduce that drastically to around 1% of losses in that network. Consider what that means for a country like in Spain, where really water is a scarce resource. On the other hand, we see that the data itself is nothing, has very limited value. We have to move the data into intelligence to make smart decisions. And there is where the big data technology brings all the real value to the smart cities. When you combine all the information that we are gathering from the sensors, for example, with the mobility information that we have from the citizens moving through the cities, we can really make the city smart. And for example, not only collecting the waste from the places where it's located when the containers are full, it's just to calculate the best route for these trucks in order to avoid traffic jams, for example, or not to produce traffic jams because they are doing it in a narrow street at a peak hour. That's a few examples of how the technology, combining big data with the data collected from the sensors, could really make the cities smart.
Okay, thank you. Now let's continue. As everyone knows, buildings are key components of cities, and the startups, Momit and Black Thermal, delivering technologies and solutions for in the smart building area. So next question is for them. And I would like to know how can smart buildings and consumption help to reduce the energy dependency?
Should I start?
Your turn, sorry.
If we take a look to the last years, how we have been focused on products, we have been focused on increased efficiency. But my question is, it's just efficiency what it really matter, or it's efficiency and the way we use? I'm going to put you a clear example. Imagine that you're in your kitchen and you're going to fry an egg. You have a high-tech kitchen, but when you are there, are you going to turn on the 4 fires? You could have the best kitchen ever, the more efficient. But if you turn on the 4 fires, you are using wrong. And that's what we are doing today in our facilities. We turn on the climate, the lights, all the floor around, even if we just are 25% of that. We think that that's efficient? I don't think. The product could be really efficient, but the way we use it isn't. Then we had access to a report from a stock company here in Spain, and they realized that at the end of the year, the workers are less than 50% of their working time seated on their desk. Imagine how many energy we are wasting. We are heating and we are lighting a lot of space when no one is there. Then here it's our, when we are born, we're focusing on that, just warm where and when people really need. And that's what we are trying to explain to everyone. It's that we need to be focused on a products really, really efficient, but we need to keep in mind the way we use it, make it in an efficient way.
Okay, thank you. Romain, your turn.
Yeah, just as Lluc was saying, I think I fully agree with him. On our side, what we are working on about is more domestic level, I would say. It's very important to remind to people that when we work in IoT and Internet of Things stuff, it's about setting, I would say, sensors or devices that can gather information, then process it through smart algorithms, and then make you take the right decision or make another device take the right decision for you at the right time at the right place, I would say. For us, that's been a challenge also. We've been working a lot on the heating system. We are a manufacturer of smart thermostat and intelligent thermostat. What we've seen is that our users working with this kind of products, they do up to 30% energy savings on their energy bill, for instance. And heating, in terms of energy consumption, is something like 50% of the overall energy bill. So for us, it's a very big concern. And if we start domestic level, we are convinced that we can bring it up afterwards on smart buildings. I was saying that we speak about smart algorithms, for instance. Smart algorithms is something very important for us, for instance. This is something that basically it's all about data. You work out the information you gather with the sensors, you process it like a food, for instance, that you are cooking, and then you can learn from the habits and the patterns of the users. And you do prediction afterwards. This is something that is very interesting, actually, for utility companies that we are working with. When you work on demand-side management, for instance, you know how people will use the energy, at what times they will use the energy, and where they will use it. And this is what we have been doing also at our scale. I would say we've been developing smart algorithms that predict how much you're going to spend in the month. You can set up the budget, for instance, of how much you want to spend in the month, and on a real-time basis, you see how much money you're spending on your energy bill, basically.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for your interesting input, and I would like to continue with a green IT issue affecting the information technology industry and the digital revolution. Well, the digital revolution is information and technology industry sector needs energy to run their operations. So, data without energy doesn't exist, and energy needs data to be managed. As the interconnectivity of devices takes hold, network-connected devices such sensors and energy meters will be spread across almost every industry, city, and building around the world. Therefore, this Internet of Things new era is going to trigger a massive influx of data and consequently a growing rate of energy demand. On the other side, the experience and knowledge of corporates united to the flexibility and innovation of startups are key factors for the success of disruptive and sustainable smart cities. So here we can affirm that both startups and corporates need each other to transform in this technology transformation. In this point, I would like to pose two questions. First question is when deploying smart city projects, which are the main strategies to innovate in the way to implement IoT and big data in a sustainable way? And the second question is, does your company collaborate with other stakeholders, such corporates and or startups, respectively, for a better adoption of new technologies and in complex projects? And here I would like to listen first the experience of the startups. Please, Lluc, your turn.
Okay, I think when we are developing a new product, an IoT product, we are really focused on achieve data. We think that data gives us a lot of power, and you have a lot of information that you can use in different ways. But it happens one thing, probably how do you process this data, how you interpret this data, it's going to give you a competitiveness advantage with your competence. But at the same time, if you are earning or you are achieving more data, you need more processors, you need more sensors, different things that at the end it's causing more energy wastings. Then you need to use just the amount of data that you really need. In that case, I think it's where work together with big corporates, it's giving you really nice know-how, because they have been on the market for years. They have infrastructures, they have that know-how that it's giving you the importance of what they really need, what they really are going to pay for it. And then it's the nice way to go together. If you're a startup, you can be you can release technology, you can release product, but it's really difficult to release a service to a big corporation. Then it's the nice way to go together and implement your technology with them. Then they could be your resellers. They could explain in our case, with the facility managers, they are telling us what are the key points that they are going to use. In our case, we have reduced more than 50% the quantity of data that we had from the beginning and the one that we are having today. And my message for all the startups that they are here, it's you have the innovation departments here, go for them and try to speak with them, because they are willing for projects, they want new technologies, and it's what we can supply the startups, technologies, and implement with them systems.
Thank you, Lluc. Let's listen to Romain.
I think I was thinking it's quite funny, because when you think about it, we were speaking about data, gathering data, and just before speaking about saving energy. And then when you think about it, you actually need energy to save energy. You just need to find the right balance, I would say. Concerning the data and to have minus data collected, I would say in more sharp way, I would say. What we've seen, and this is the beautiful thing of our business, that all the connected devices are in their own way connected to the internet, which means that we can use something like remote control management, remote maintenance, prediction maintenance, this kind of stuff. And what we can do is basically we've seen that 97% of like the after-sales case that we have with our customer, we can solve them from our desk, basically. So if we can do this maintenance from our own desk and not go to the house of people, this is something we can work out on how to improve the way we are treating the data. We need to change somehow the hardware to improve and to sharpen the detail of data that we are processing, but we can do a lot of management when we are doing some remote management from our own desk. So we can improve from the other side of the planet, I would say, an infrastructure that is based in one country. Working with large companies, as Lluc was saying, is very important. They bring a very nice overview of the business. They've got the power, the strength, the muscles to deploy very, very largely. The only thing that they lack of is I would say, the youth that we have as startup, the vitality, the go-to-market, which is quite quick. And this is what we are bringing to them. So it's a win-win business. We are working with utility companies, obviously, and this is the kind of thing we are bringing to them. In our case, for instance, what we do is that we have utility companies, or telco companies, actually, we are working with Orange now, to show them and show to the customers that they are not only a cost source, an expense source for the users, and it's not only the invoice that you will get at the end of the month, it's also a source of savings, energy savings, for instance. And it's also a good way for them to be shown as smart companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Let's listen now to telecommunication companies, and we'll start with you, Diego, please.
So again, so in the end, we are now sharing a session for all the companies thinking about developing new services or products in the future for these kind of technologies, IoT, smart cities, big data. So all these technologies are really aiming the same target. So some ideas to share with all the companies present today. So the first one is IoT, big data, and the cloud. It's our technologies in where we are investing heavily from the big companies. So the advice for you is invest in this kind of services, because we are already doing that investment. The second idea is companies like Vodafone believe really in open innovation system. So don't be afraid to contact with companies like Vodafone and try to collaborate each other, because we are really willing to collaborate with smaller companies to develop services together. And the final message from me would be, so take a look to the emerging technologies very carefully, like, for example, narrowband IoT. So narrowband IoT will become the standard in the IoT space in the following months, I would say. So take a look to the advantages of narrowband IoT, because we believe in the coming months, all the developments, all the services, all the different products we will launch to the market in the coming 2 years will base on narrowband IoT.
Okay, thank you. Let's listen to Francisco.
Okay, so our strategies in this area are based on 4 main points. The first 2 ones are very close to each other. They go hand in hand, and one is open standards and interoperability. When we deploy networks, we cannot afford to build isolated networks and isolated platform services. Nobody can imagine to have a mobile device and go to France and have to change the device because it doesn't work. In the IoT business and smart cities business has to be the same. We cannot build different platforms isolated one from each other. We cannot afford it as a company, and even as a society. And the third is the low cost. Because it's one reason, because we think from Orange that there is a paradigm change really important with the IoT as we consider it. Today, the data that we are moving through our networks is high-value data. We can put a 200 euros device to gather this data, spend a lot of energy and transmission capacities to bring this data from the sensor into the data centers, because it's high-value data. When you start deploying billions of sensors with really low-value data information, the cost of bringing this information into the data centers to analyze it has to be lower than the value that this data brings. And we have to consider that. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm going to put a sensor in every coffee machine, but it has to be really very cheap. And not only the cost of the sensor, it's the power to run it, install it, maintain it, and build it. So we need really a paradigm change here. And finally, is the partnerships. This is really a new business that is being created, totally new industry, either that is smart agro, smart industry, smart city, everything is booming right now. And we have 2 areas here. One is the current processes, business processes that are being run by the cities, where we have companies, corporates that they really specialize in, like Sacyr. They know how to run a waste management system. We don't. We can support them transmitting the information and bringing the intelligence, but the ones that knows the process, the business behind, is them. We have to partner with them to go for solutions for the cities and for the end customers. On the other hand, technology runs so fast that we cannot cope with that rhythm. Even though we can have a lot of resources, we are big corporations, and we are too big. We are not fast enough to cope with innovation, and we need the startups. They bring new ideas, they do it intelligent, they do it cheap, they do it fast. And that is why we support through our Orange Fab program the acceleration of these kind of startups, and we are supporting the current competition for startups here, and we're happy to listen, and not just listen, to bring them, these startups, and incorporate into our solutions that we are bringing into this new business.
Okay, thank you. Now let's end this question with Carlos, please.
Well, we think they said we are services providers. So somebody many times they tell us, you know how to do the things the old way. That is not true. We know we've been doing the same services for many years. But now we know how to do the old way, and we know how to do the innovative way. And the way we do it is with open innovation. We call it global innovation, because we believe in crowdsourcing, and in the crowdsourcing is not only our company and our internal know-how, but is whatever is outside, all the boundary conditions that around a need of a city. So that's why we have a startup observatory. We have in Sacyr we have a startup award, and we collaborate with tech institutes and many institutions, universities. We have some projects with them. So we are really open. Here's the audience. We are really open to hear from the startups new innovative ideas. So come to visit us.
Okay, many thanks, Carlos. Well, we are almost out of time, and I should conclude this panel. During the panel, we have listened how cities need technology implementation and collaborative models between public administrations, utility companies, environmental services companies, telecommunication companies, and citizens to be smarter. In this scenario, startups are playing an important role bringing to the market new flexible, disruptive and sustainable technologies and services which combine together with the experience of the corporates and the support, hopefully, of the public administration will achieve the requirements of cities and citizens. Therefore, the integration of startups also in public tenders is a must, and currently not all the municipalities are facilitating this. From our position, we invite to public administrations to join innovation and technology ecosystems to successfully implement these complex projects with an open mind and something which is important, with a budget to implement the best solutions. Finally, it exists some kind of paradox between the information technology and energy sectors, and especially in the smart city framework and industry also. Indeed, it's here from a circular economy point of view where everyone developing new technologies and services for the smart cities should take this issue into account. I invite present and future entrepreneurs to propose innovative, disruptive, and sustainable technologies, and be sure that you will always have opened the door from corporates and investors. Well then, I would like to thank you, all of you, for your assistance and interest, and thank you also Spain Startup for making this panel possible. Thank you.